All right, this video is on adding rational expressions. Which is the Math 3 version of adding fractions together. So just a little reminder, when you add fractions together, if we were to add like 1/8 plus 3/8 plus 5/8, we don't add the tops and add the bottoms. We don't say like 1/8 plus 3/8 plus 5/8 is 9/24. We don't do that. If we have a common denominator, we say, okay, the denominator of our answer is going to be 8. And then we add the tops together. We add the numerators together. 1 plus 3 plus 5 is 9. So the answer to this would be 9/8. It's exactly the same with rational expressions. If you have a common denominator, you keep that common denominator in the problem, and then you just add your numerators together. And then there's a final step with adding rational expressions where you simplify your answer, which is something we talked about in this unit we're going to do repeatedly. So if we have 5x plus 5y over 24x plus x minus 5y over 24x, and we're going to add those together, then that means that we're going to have a common denominator of 24x. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and show my work, and I'm not going to do it because I need it for adding rational expressions. I'm going to do it because when we do subtracting rational expressions, it's going to make a big difference to show this work, okay? And I want to be consistent with how I show my work so that I don't have to memorize different steps for different types of problems, okay? So I'd like you guys to do it this way, even though it's going to be obnoxious today. So I'm going to say 5x plus 5y plus x minus 5y. Miss Rice, that is so obnoxious. I know. Please do it anyway. All right. So 5y, negative 5y, those cancel out. 5x and x are like terms. We can combine those together. That gives us 6x over 24x. All right. X is definitely canceled. Those are the same. Same thing on top and bottom. And then with the 6 and the 24, both of those are divisible by 6. So I'm going to go ahead and divide by 6, divide by 6. So 6 divided by 6 is 1, 24 divided by 6 is 4, and so our simplified answer is 1/4. All right, second problem. A minus 4b over 12b squared plus a minus 6b over 12b squared. So our common denominator is 12b squared. Yes, just like before, I want you to write all the work out. So a minus 4b plus a minus 6b. Just switch lead I was running out of, or switch pencils I was running out of lead. All right, so a plus a is 2a. Negative 4b and negative 6b is negative 10b. All right, and so the bottom is a monomial. I can't factor that. However, the top is a binomial, and so the typical way of factoring a binomial is to take out the GCF. So I'm going to have to do that to see if I can simplify it all. So the GCF between 2 and 10 is 2. There's no GCF between the variables. So a minus 5b. I can't cancel out anything within the parentheses, but outside the parentheses I have a 2, and this is even down here. So the 2 and the monomial, those can reduce. 2 divided by 2, and then 12 divided by 2. So I can do that. 2 divided by 2 is 1. If you want to put the 1 in front of the parentheses, you can, but you don't really need to. So I have a minus 5b on the top. And then on the bottom, 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6b squared. All right, 6n minus 4, 4n squared plus 24n, 6n, 4n squared plus 24n. All right, so again, we have that common denominator. And like I said, for this day, I'm always going to give you guys a common denominator because that's a whole lesson in itself, is like, how do we get a common denominator? That's a whole different day of learning. So for today, we're just going to be kind of practicing this part of it. Okay, so I went ahead and I wrote out my numerators, combined like terms. 6n and 6n is 12n minus 4. So in the numerator, both of these, they're binomials, top and bottom are binomials. So I can do Gcf factoring on both of those. So Gcf on the top is 4. That leaves me with 3n minus 1. Gcf on the bottom is also 4, but a 4 and an n. And that leaves me with n plus 6. So the 4's can cancel. That's all that cancels. I get 3n minus 1 over n times n plus 6. That's my final answer. All right, we got v plus 5, 3v plus 6, v minus 1, 3v plus 6. So the common denominator is 3v plus 6. We got v plus 5 plus v minus 1. So when I add those together, v plus v is 2v, 5 and negative 1 is 4. So we have a binomial on the top, we have a binomial on the bottom. That means we have a GCF on top, GCF on bottom. So the GCF on top is 2. Write the leftovers, v plus 2. GCF on the bottom is 3. Write the leftovers, v plus 2. And so here the v plus 2's cancel out. We are left with 2/3. Okay, so I think you guys get the idea. I still have a couple more examples for us to go over in class, but basically you're just going to be rewriting the fraction with one denominator and then simplifying. Not too difficult compared to what we've done so far. So pretty repetitive this unit.